All right, hold on. Just adding my. It's my first time going live. I mean, I've been on lives, but never doing it myself. So bear with me. Hi, Zoe. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Waiting for her. She's coming on. I just want to give you guys a little background of why this came about. Hi, positivity. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So Terry is who's Hannah Gurley, who's coming on with me. We've known each other for about 10 years. We worked at the same company for quite a while, and she's just been my girl. Like, she's that person when things aren't going well. She's the one who I turn to, and I know if I call, she's going to be this pillar of wisdom for me. She's going to be positive. Here, let me get more light in here. She's going to uplift me. She's going to remind me of my power and my strength. She's not going to tear me down. And she has gotten me through some really, really crazy stuff. So, let's see. I'm still trying to figure out how to get her on. Can you not get on? Let me see. Requests, send request. All right, I'm trying it that way. Oh, here we go.
Hey, hi.
Hey.
Hi, you were just talking about me.
Yeah, I was. So,
Exciting.
yeah, so she's my girl that I go to. And a couple years ago, I went through a very, very, very rough time, as she knows. I mean, probably one of the toughest times of my life. And she was just there for me. Really, really helped me. And after that, I had a spiritual awakening. Now I have my healing business. I went through a lot, but we're just, we were talking the other day, and just amazing stuff comes out of our mouths when we talk to each other. And Terry's like, God, people should know, like, watch this, because not everyone has that girlfriend that they can reach out to, that they can get uplifted by, that they can get honest feedback from. And right now, 2020 has been a record year, right? Everyone's going through stuff. No one's escaping the craziness. There's a lot going on. And we just thought, like, what a great idea to do this show, and maybe something we say can help somebody, or if you guys have questions or topics you want us to touch on, we can. This is really just supposed to be really laid back and fun. And yeah, I just loved this. Terry, I want to hear what you have to say. Sorry,
Well,
I've been
first of
talking
all,
so long.
thank you for all the kind words, and I reflect them right back to you. You've been a gift to me. And I think any of the women on this chat right now can attest to how powerful girlfriends are. And this idea isn't so much about me feeling like I have um, sage advice that no one else has, or that I have something that's unreal or untouchable. It's really more about a gift that I've been given in that I have a very small insular life. I don't have a lot of family, and I'm not close to many of my family. So I'm closest to my mom. And in essence, my friends have become my family and my support system. And there's no greater testament to how important that is than to go through challenging times. And in the past 10 years that I've known Kerry, she's gone through just as much as I've heard about her trials and tribulations. She's heard of all of my challenges and my heartbreaks and my triumphs. And I have to say, none of them would be as meaningful if I didn't have my girl, and if I didn't have my girls. And Kerry's one of my key girls. And especially now that she is just ascended to this really high vibrational energy, and just been so positive despite of all the craziness, not just on a personal scale, but on a worldly scale. And if you think about just how hard and challenging life is as a mother, as a partner, as a single woman, just in general, and then you compound it with all these other environmental stressors, to not have a support system is just can be devastating and crippling. And
Mhm.
so for those people, especially now where we're so estranged, like the fact that I can't see and hug Carrie or any of my friends really hurts. Like, and it's I feel isolated So,
Mhm.
and I can't imagine, I know that I'm not alone. I know that this is something that's very commonly occurring on a much grander scale. And I talk to people who tell me they're actually, getting, they're sleep deprived, they feel anxiety. And I just think this is great to have a platform where we can extend this wonderful gift that the universe has given us of meeting each other and being in each other's circles and our orbits, and taking this positivity and the support and the sage advice too. I mean, with age and with experience comes a lot of lessons, and what good is any kind of pain or suffering or challenge if there's not a lesson? And what a greater gift it is to give back whatever I learn and to share that with others. And I do that with humility, and I do that with an open heart. I think Kerry does the same thing. And you know we're in the middle of Corona right now, and I have to say, like, every day I wake up thinking, when is this going to end? Like, I feel like I'm in this holding pattern of waiting.
Mhm.
And when I talk to other people, and I talk to my accounts at work, my family, they tell me the same thing. It's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the holidays are going to look like. I don't know what my birthday is going to look like. And which brings me to something that you and I have talked about recently, is that I call it the waiting. And whatever you're waiting for, all the time in life, we have these things that we expect and what we want, and to have that not in our control, and to be waiting for that job interview, waiting for the dream guy, waiting for the sale of your house, waiting for your daughter to graduate, waiting to see if you got a role in this part you auditioned for. There's so much angst in not knowing. And now with
Mhm.
these surreal worldly circumstances, it even compounds that. And what I found in life is that as I wait, that I am given a choice, that I can take this time of waiting and I can use it to either torture myself or teach myself.
Mhm.
And this revelation's only come with lots of experience and lots of challenges. But I think the idea of sitting with the unknown and releasing the tendency to want to control everything, and to releasing the notion that you have any control, is, it
Mhm.
sounds so simple, and like anything that sounds so simple, it's one of the most challenging disciplines there is. And if I can keep myself in check, and if I can remind myself that this is a period that can be fertile rather than just
Mhm.
angst filled, and it can be a growth period versus just a fear based period, it really just changes the whole experience. And you can chime in and let me know what your feedback is with that.
Yeah, I think this time is teaching us more than ever, like any other time, is that we nothing is in our control.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and then nothing has ever affected every human being on earth that we know of before, right? Because we are all so connected, and this
Yeah.
proves it. It proves that every choice that we make has a consequence, and
100%.
that everything we do impacts other people. So we can have an intention of sending out good and positive, or negative, right? Because whatever we put out comes back to us. And I think right now that we've learned we have no control. However, we can surrender to the present moment. And I think that that word surrender is so powerful, in that you are letting the universe know, letting God, the divine, whatever it is you call it, it's all the same. Um, Surrendering lets you, it's a trusting energy, that you trust that the universe knows more than we do, because we don't know a lot, right? We have our vision that through our lenses of this lifetime, and we forget that there's a whole scope of this earth. And right now we're living in it. I mean, yes, it's crazy, and in some ways very negative, but it's also a time that's, forever going to be remembered. I tell my daughter this, who's 17, like, this is going to be a time that's constantly talked about, almost like 9/11. Like, where were you? What happened? We are going to remember, and we can remember it for being, for learning and helping our neighbors and being compassionate, or we can just sit and sulk and be scared. And I don't think we should be scared. I think if we listen to the scientists, we follow advice, this is a time, like you said, where we can grow and we can learn. We can read more books. We can spend time with our closest family and do things that, right? I think we all slow down. We all slow down for this pandemic
Yes.
immensely.
100%.
you know?
Yes, and first of all, I see all these people that we know and love that have joined, and I want to say thank
Thank
you and send my love and appreciation to you being there.
you.
Hi, Jane. I see you're there. It makes me really happy. But I think this is why we're such a great team, because you just said the key word that I think I was talking around, but surrender. And just by hearing the word surrender, it gives it a connotation of weakness and of um, just helplessness. But the truth is, surrender is an act of power.
Mhm.
And when you have the self empowerment and the self awareness to say, this isn't mine to deal with, this is not mine to control, and you release that, it is so empowering to say, that's not mine to give, and I give it to the universe. And,
Mhm.
and I don't want to get all space agey and hippie-ish, but I do believe that by releasing something and saying, okay, this is not mine to give, and you can let God, the universe, whatever your higher power is to help you through this, you have a choice. So, as I said, it can be a time of torture, of ruminating, of fear based thinking, of sleepless nights, or it can be a time of teaching. And when I say teaching, I think three things have helped me. When I'm in a waiting state or an anxiety state of an unknown, and I'm waiting for an outcome or expecting an outcome, expectations are really tricky because you want to have them, you want to be hopeful, but you also don't
Mhm.
want to hang all of your heart and your life on these particular things that happen. Because life is not linear, and just because things don't happen according to your own mental timeline, which they rarely ever do, it does not mean that
Mhm.
they're not right and they're not a gift. So I think that when you're in the state of waiting, you can tell yourself, number one, I think the first and most important thing is like, I'm going to be grounded where I am, and I'm going to accept and be proud of what brought me to this moment where I'm waiting for that new job, where I'm waiting for this dream guy, where I'm out of that bad relationship and now I'm ready to be in a healthy one, where I've
Mhm.
saved up enough money so I can buy a house. I'm just waiting for them to accept that offer, where I'm ready to take charge of my health and I want to see that scale and see that number that that I've always dreamt of it saying. Have appreciation for that instead of just, yes, it's wonderful to envision a future and to visualize, but to say, hey, I appreciate myself and I'm proud of myself to coming to this point. So many people live life so blindly, and they don't take risks, and they don't challenge themselves, and they don't get to these opportunities. So when you're giving yourself that opportunity, acknowledge it and be grateful, which is the key to everything.
Oh,
Gratitude is everything.
absolutely. And I think a lot of people also live for the future. They're
Yes.
constantly living for, when I meet that guy, everything's going to be okay. When I get that job, when I get out of debt, everything's going to be okay. There's this sense that there's something in the future that's going to make you happy. But what happens is, even when we reach that goal, there's another goal.
Yes.
So if we don't live for the moment right now and appreciate just exactly what this is, because all spiritual, leaders say really the now is all we have.
Right.
So if we don't appreciate it, then we're always going to be chasing it. We're always going to be, and then when we're putting the happiness in something external, which is out of our control. But if we can find the happiness in the now, not based on something externally happening, but in the trusting that that God has our back, and that what's
Yep.
best for us is going to be what happens. And if we really trust in that, it's almost like, of course you're going to be happy, right? What would happen? Say you won the lottery, but you haven't got the money yet. I've tried this if you haven't tried it because it's so fun. But just picture like you won like $10 million, but it's not going to get paid out till for a month. Like there is this happiness that overcomes you. There's a freedom that overcomes you. And what the law of attraction and the secret, what they always say is you have to feel that feeling in order to attract it. But really what we're chasing is that feeling. We're chasing the feeling of being free. We're chasing that feeling of being happy. But if we're happy and free right now, that's golden. And
Absolutely.
whatever thoughts make you think like, oh, okay, I haven't met that guy yet, but in 6 months he's coming into my life. And if I know that for sure, how would you feel? Your life would be, you wouldn't be worrying about that. You would be living in the moment because that part's all taken care of. And so that's freedom. That's
And
power
yes,
because
yes.
we're not, and it doesn't have to be, I just like the feeling. I don't, obviously I'm not going to win the lottery, but the feeling of that freedom and imagining what it feels like and embodying it into your soul, that is like
It's
That's
priceless.
what we're searching for.
It's
Yeah.
invaluable. And I think another way of looking at that is that there is joy, and this word triggers me because I think it's overused, but there really is joy in the journey, like the journey to, building that network of friends that you love, getting that dream job, all that. Like when I reflect on every accomplishment that I have that I'm proud of, when I think of what brought me to that benchmark, what brought me there, what allowed me to come to that realization, that fruition of my dreams or my wants, that's what's so satisfying. It wasn't just going on the dream trip. It was like the fact that I was able to afford
Yes.
to bring myself to that. Like, and it's the fact that I was able to bring myself to a job where I was exposed to all these wonderful, incredible people. Like the journey should not be underestimated. And for myself, I just like practical tips. And, anytime I've gone to seek help from a therapist or other people, I've always said, okay, well, but give me some tools, give me some coping skills, because all this talk is beautiful, but for me, it's, I don't, maybe this is just how this is how my head works. I like to be able to give just some simple hints and some simple
Mhm.
tips on how to help you arrive to this way of thinking and to this like thinking pattern and this like pattern of mental and emotional behavior. And for myself, as I said, first of all, have appreciation for where you are. It's so important that you've come to this very crucial crossroads, and really say, okay, I'm proud of myself, and give yourself a moment. And also, I have learned that, sometimes in life, if you're given to a point where something is not happening as quickly as you want it, there's probably a higher reason for this, that you're just not on your radar yet. And so
Mhm.
leave room. So number one, I would say appreciate where you are, but number two, leave room for good things to come to fruition or to come into your radar or into your life by allowing space. And you can't allow that space if you're always pushing an agenda and you're always pushing a singular vision without, when life just isn't linear, and there's many different ways you can arrive at a certain destination, and it's not always linear, and it's rarely a linear path. So if you can like leave space for that, that's monumental.
Yeah.
And
Divine timing.
yes,
Trust in the
exactly.
divine timing of things. Yeah.
Yes, I love your terminology. It's wonderful, and it's so point on. And the last thing I would say is that when you're given time for something to evolve, you can use it by ruminating, or you can use it by being your best self. And that, if that means calling your friends for support, if that means going out for a night with your girlfriends and not thinking about it, or if it means taking a course and a completely different subject and edifying another part of your life or another part of your brain, so that you're not just thinking about getting that guy or nailing that job, or making that, closing that big deal at work. If you can think of other things that will help to buoy you, and not just buoy you and keep you afloat, but actually raise you above,
Hmm.
what a wonderful time that is. And before you know it, that thing that's been looming, in front of you like a carrot stick, it may happen right before your eyes, or other wonderful things are happening before your eyes that you may not be aware of because you've kind of shut yourself up. So, like, I think those three tips, and you can chime in and tell me if what your
Oh, yeah.
impression is, but I think those are really good grounding tools. And I think it's really timely right now where we're estranged, and we really need to rely on ourselves and those who love us now more than ever.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Those are great words, great tips. I think, yeah, practicing gratitude, I think you said is
Mm-hmm.
a really good one for if you feel off. I always find like when all of a sudden you start like really kind of feeling off, like kind of reminding yourself, like you said, of what you have and what
Exactly.
you would be thankful for, and also think back to any really challenging time that you went through. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes those are the most rewarding, and we kind of wish we appreciated it more. So
Yes.
to
Exactly.
appreciate right now is like getting that gift back of like, I'm appreciating where we are. I'm appreciating that we're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm appreciating that I still have a roof over my head. I'm appreciating that, I have a job, even if it's not my dream job. All these things to just really practice that appreciation and being grateful, I think can be very, very powerful. There's also loving meditations you can do, self-love meditations if people are drawn to do that. I think I've posted a few that can be really helpful, especially during this time. But like you said, reaching out to friends and not isolating can can be really important,
Yeah.
especially if you're suffering from depression or anxiety, then obviously, hey,
Yeah.
um, you know, like, and then there's energy healing. I have to plug that because that's what
Of
I
course.
do. So energy healing, crystal healing, Reiki. Um, you know, some people, you know, you want to do the shadow work. I think we talked about that a little bit, but like now is such a good time while we have this free time to clear up our subconscious and kind of getting, you know, all this stuff up and out in the open. I think this is a really good time
Yeah,
to
I
do it.
agree. I want to close out by saying this, like, to for all of you, like anyone who's feeling isolated or alone, just take a second and just reflect of all the people and the good positive things you have, because there are things. I promise you there are things. And for me, every day, you know, it took me a long time to get to this point where I'm actually really relaxed where I am and relaxed with myself. I'm obviously I still need work and I still need reminders, but if I didn't have my girlfriends, I really, like I said, they've been my lifeline for since I was a little girl. I don't know where I'd be, and so I'm so grateful that I have the support system and the incredibly strong and wise women around me. And so I want to be to them what they have been to me. And I think positivity just generates and begets more positivity. It just attracts more and more. And I think if we can all make a conscious effort to have gratitude and appreciation for those who love us and for those who
Mm-hmm.
support us through thick and thin, automatically it makes things less difficult, you know? So I want to
Yeah.
say thank you for everyone who's like just here supporting our chat. I was nervous as can be, but you know, I've got Kerry by my side, and I have everyone online being so supportive, and it means a world of difference. And I can't wait for us to do it again.
Yeah. So if anyone has any, you know, you guys can DM us, either one of us. If you want to stay like, you know, want it to be private, you can do that. Um, yeah, so we'll probably do it again. We'll keep it short every time. But we definitely want to like include you guys to see if there's any topic that you guys feel like you would love some insight on. And we'll do our best
Yes.
to help out.
Yes, and Carrie and I spoke about this before. You know, not everyone has the luxury of having that person or that confidant that they feel comfortable sharing whatever struggle or challenge they're dealing with or grappling with. And if Carrie and I can be a objective or anonymous ear or eye for you, I'm really happy to just correspond with you, whether online or through a message, and just you know, we can bring up more topics the next time we do this, but I want to be able to help those that may feel they're a little estranged too. I think that's really
Hmm.
important.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
so
really appreciate you guys jumping on, and I really, really appreciate it. It's been fun.
yeah, thank you so much. Love you, Carrie. I
Oh, I
appreciate
love you. Love you
it.
guys.
Bye
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you, thanks everyone, bye.
Bye.
Hey.